Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Rob Richards, and today you're joining me at Mission Fitness Center here in Alhambra, California. This is an awesome hybrid gym where a lot of weightlifters and powerlifters and everyone else in between comes and works out. If you happen to be in the area, I highly recommend you come and work out here. The goal with today's workout video is focused on quads and hamstring. 6 exercises in total, going from quads and hamstrings, quads and hamstrings, quads and hamstrings. We'll be looking at squats, sumo deadlifts, leg extensions, lying hamstring curl, sissy squat, and a glute hamstring raise. Perform 3 sets each at around 10 to 12 reps and about 80–85% of your maximum effort going all out on that final work set. The goal is to keep rest times to a minimal and keep your intensity pushed up high. All right then, let's get started on the first of our exercises, and that is squats. And so here we are with the barbell squat. You can see as I squat down, I'm pushing my hips back behind me, keeping my chest elevated with the bar just across the traps, the upper portion of the back. The goal here really isn't to just concertine the body down and therefore push the knees forwards. It's to sit the hips back as though you're sitting down onto a chair and keep the chest elevated and the shoulders and elbows pulled back. The goal with this is to perform 10 repetitions at close to your maximum weight. And if you can, increase with small increments each set. And so we move on to our second exercise, another compound lift, and this one is a sumo deadlift. Great exercise for the hamstrings especially, helped in part by this wider stance, about twice the width of shoulders and my toes angled slightly outwards. Keeping my arms straight and using a hooked grip, one hand under, one hand over. I'm keeping my knees fairly soft, but as I sit down to lower the bar, keep my arms straight, I'm pushing my hips and butt back out behind me. Therefore, all of the work is now done by the hamstrings and a lot less by the back and legs in your typical conventional deadlift. This really is a great, powerful exercise for the legs, and I find it pairs really well after having done squats or even before squats to activate the hamstrings, really warm them up. And if you prefer using lifting wraps and a weightlifting belt, that is completely up to you. This is a personal preference. Well, now we move away from our free weight compound type movements such as squats and sumo deadlifts and focus more on machine-based isolation exercises, starting with our seated leg extension. Great exercise to improve conditioning and muscle separation in the upper leg. And you'll see here I'm performing both legs together, keeping my toes pulled in towards me as opposed to extended away from my body. I perform 3 to 4 working sets, 10–12 repetitions at most at about 85% maximum effort. And then I transition into a couple of working sets on each leg individually. The benefit of doing this is that I get to change the angle slightly, allowing for different variations in the muscles and the work being done. You'll notice if you include this with either arms or legs that you get a very different feeling during the exercise than if you perform both together. So when performing exercises for arms and legs, I always make sure to include single leg or arm exercises, certainly towards the end of these working sets. Great exercise, keep that intensity high and your rest periods to a minimum, whether they're between working sets or exercises. We want to keep the intensity of this workout up and high. This is another hamstring focused exercise. It's a lying hamstring curl which isolates the back of the leg. And you'll see I'm keeping my toes once again curled in towards my body as opposed to extended away. Next time you're in the gym, give this a try and notice the difference that you feel within the legs by doing this. 3 to 4 working sets here, and I'll keep the weight the same. My goal is not to always increase the weight, but rather chase the burn, which I find works really well in this style of circuit-based training without always having to increase the weight. Now we move on to our third and final quad-focused exercise within this workout, and this exercise is a version of a sissy squat. It's a great exercise that really works the quads hard without needing too much weight. Speaking of weight, you can see that I have a 25-pound plate in my hands and I'm extending my arms straight out in front of my chest as I lower my hips down just below that knee line. By doing that, it really works the quads hard to have to pull the upper body upright as opposed to always keeping that weight placed behind the back of my shoulders, which puts a lot of tension and pressure around my lower back. And once I've reached failure, I put the weight down, place my hands behind the back of my head, and perform as many reps as I can using my body weight alone until literally I can't even stand my body upright anymore. Then we move on to the next one. And so now we move on to the sixth and final exercise in today's leg workout, which is a glute hamstring raise. I'm using a hyperextension machine, typically for the lower back, locking my heels in place. And you'll see that I'm bringing my upper torso up much higher than that horizontal axis, which really engages the hamstrings to work and pull that body weight up. Great exercise, and really one that I like to include at the end of a leg workout that really doesn't require that much weight besides that of my body weight. Although there are varying different levels of intensity, one of which keeping your hands behind the back of your head like I'm doing here, crossing them over your shoulder, or even holding onto a weight or using resistance bands around the shoulders to further increase that intensity. 3 sets on here, 10 to 12 reps, and we finish the workout. Okay guys, there we have it. That wraps up the end of today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it to be beneficial. If you have any questions, leave a comment in the video below. And if you'd like to find out more about my training and my diet, you can do so on my Instagram at @RobRichardsFitness. Finally, if you'd like to find out more about the outfits seen in today's video, you can head over to leorivet.com or click the link in the description below. And I'll leave you with this. It's only when we step outside of our comfort zone that we find the strength that enables us to push through and take it to that next level. So get uncomfortable in your training. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.